Hey everybody, I'm Joe. Welcome back to Movie of the Week. So recently, as I was doom scrolling on my phone, sending out some choice memes and hilarious reels to all my contacts, and completely disregarding any messages that they sent to me.
So you gotta understand that I don't come up with this stuff. I just forward it along. You wouldn't arrest a guy who's just delivering drugs from one guy to another.
Apparently, several movies are celebrating their 40th anniversary this year and are playing in theaters throughout the summer. This seemed like a perfect opportunity for us to cram some more 80s culture into Matt's brain for Movie of the Week. After reviewing a list of all the movies that were released that year, 1984 was, as the kids say, fire. It slaps. I know I'm too old to use those phrases and I just make myself sound like,
I'm down, I've got the 411, and you are not going out and getting jiggy with some boy, I don't care how dope his ride is.
Nevertheless, there were some straight up bangers in theaters that year. I mean, just take a look at the list of all the movies that were released back then. So for this week's list, we picked 4 movies we thought were the best 1984 had to offer, excluding the movies that Matt has already seen. Now let's not waste any more time, let's jump into this Movie of the Week list. So starting off the list is the 1984 Ghostbusters. Now, like I said, Matt wasn't alive in the 80s. However, I feel like every kid in America saw this movie at some point while they were growing up. Which kind of makes me feel like maybe Matt just was never a kid. He simply just showed up at work one day as a grown-ass adult, having never lived a life as a child. Nor does he have any knowledge of one of the most famous movie songs of all time.
When you're walking down the street and you see a little ghost, what you gonna do about Ghostbusters?
What is that?
That's the Ghostbusters theme song.
No.
I'm pretty sure it is.
So yeah, Ghostbusters from the 1980s is a definite must-watch for Matt. It's a great movie that people still cheer for today, despite being 40 years old. It's one of the few movies that have held up over time, and if it wins this week, Matt's gonna have a great time watching it.
Ghostbusters.
The next movie on the list is The Karate Kid, starring Ralph Macchio. Now, Ralph Macchio plays Daniel LaRusso, a boy who moves to California with his mom, only to find himself a bit of a loner until he meets the charming Allie, played by Elizabeth Shue. Both Daniel and Allie take a liking to each other. The only problem is Allie's on-again and off-again boyfriend, Johnny. Johnny and Daniel throw hands, however, Daniel finds himself outmatched as he painfully realizes Johnny is a karate expert. In steps the local handyman, Mr. Miyagi. Now, Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel karate and the ways of the Force, so Daniel can finally have a chance at standing up for himself.
The Karate Kid.
The next movie on the list is Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy. Now, Eddie Murphy plays Axel Foley, the street-smart, wisecracking cop from Detroit, who sets out on an investigation to figure out who murdered his best friend. Axel tracks down the killer all the way out to Beverly Hills, California, where he finds himself a bit of a fish out of water. Axel begins to work with the local Beverly Hills Cop police, only to find that the small murder investigation that he started out with goes a lot deeper than he initially thought. The final movie on the list is Gremlins. Now, Gremlins was written by Chris Columbus and produced by Steven Spielberg. This movie tells the story of a young man who receives an early Christmas gift called a Mogwai. Now, despite being a cute, fuzzy little creature, the Mogwais have a very specific set of rules. You can't get them wet, you can't feed them after midnight, and you can't get them out in sunlight. Of course, all 3 of these rules are broken, and we end up with the terrifying creatures called gremlins, who run amok throughout town. So those are the movies that we have for this week's list. Be sure to vote for the movie that you want Matt to watch next. Don't forget the link to vote is in the description of this video or on the community page. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time on Movie of the Week.